My name is May, and I've been an auditor for a few multinational companies, in financial institutions, as well as manufacturing company and consulting companies. So in the last 10 years, what I did was that I started trading Forex, mainly to have a second source of income. And in the last 7 years, I've been trading the US options market. So I've been a trader in the around 10 years already. And today I'm still trading actively as well as investing actively in the financial markets.
Hi, my name is Matthew. I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years, and lately I've been doing some business coaching and training Christian entrepreneurs how to do business with integrity. As part of that, I also encourage people to do some investments where I believe they'll have some good benefits out of it.
Yes, actually, I like GM because it's a conservative fund, and the first thing that I look at is their risk drawdown. So they don't risk more than 1% of the capital. So in fact, their drawdown it's like 0.5% or up to 0.8%. So with less than 1% of my capital at risk, it's giving me about 3 to 4% every 5 weeks. And they do it consistently. They've been doing it consistently for the last four and a half years. So ever since I started in 2014 until today, they've been consistently doing that. So there's no guarantee, of course, but you know, they're consistent.
Well, my experience has been very positive, even though I've been investing in it for about the last 18 months. Even though this product was introduced to me even 2 years ago by someone I know very well, but I was not convinced at that point because I've lost some money on Forex trading myself. But because this was a passive income rather than me trading, I'm just depending it on a reliable trader who has got some good experience. So that convinced me, and so I sort of parked a little bit of money for 6 months, and then just to make sure that I'm getting what I was promised, and then it gave me more confidence, and as a result I've invested more. I believe the people behind these particular investments, I've met the traders, I've met the people behind it, and I believe they are people of integrity, and as a result, that is why I've actually added more to my portfolio. So again, as I say, that's my personal view, my personal experience, but you need to do your homework.
0.3 to 0.5% risk. That means they are only risking 0.3 to 0.5% of the capital. So for every $100, I'm only risking less than 50 cents. And GM2, which is slightly a little bit more aggressive, it's about 1%, which means for every $100 capital, they are risking $1 of my capital. So that is my risk appetite, and I'm comfortable with that, and that's why I want to go with GM and GM2. I think if you were to look at the bigger funds, for instance, the private equity funds, where they work with high net worth people, high net worth investors, they are actually giving 20 to 30 to 40% returns. Okay, however, these funds, these investment companies, they require a minimum of 500,000 US dollars or even 500,000 Aussie just to get started. Like, that's the minimum capital to get started. So the high net worth people are already enjoying this type of returns. And this is very common in any investment firm or investment companies or banks, right? But obviously GM, they have been working with this type of companies for too long and it's too stressful, so they decided to do it out of the bank, but basically working through the broker, which is TrimeFX, and being able to provide these services to the people like you and I. So we can, basically get started with, less than $10,000. So, and still enjoy the, what the high net worth people are enjoying, which is high returns.
Look, for anyone who's looking at investing in GM, this is my advice. Like any investments that you go into, you got to do some homework. Make sure you're absolutely comfortable with it, whether you're share trading or whether you're going into real estate, everything that are risk. So you need to do your homework. You need to make sure that you're comfortable and satisfied that this is for you. In this particular instance, because it's a passive income, so you got to be even more careful, because you're parking capital without you personally keeping track of it on a day-to-day basis. And I also would advise you that you only invest what you can afford to lose. So here I would strongly advise you that you start with a minimum investment, maybe about $3,000 US. Let it run for about 6 months. Make sure you're comfortable with it, that you're getting the promised return. And once you're comfortable with it, then I would encourage you to add more to the portfolio. But again, do not borrow, only invest what you can afford to invest. And this is a game where you do not look for quick, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It is something that, over years, 2, 3 years or 4 years, you will start accumulating and you'll see the value of the investments. The plan is for you to double your investment every 3 years. So if you invest in $3,000, in 3 years you will get back your capital plus your profits, and then you can even take out your capital and you can just let the profit run. There are different ways of doing it, but again, the key thing is only invest what you can afford and do not borrow, only invest what you have.
I think for potential investors, set up a fund where you are ready to invest, and you should be aware that this is a financial market. Do your own research. Okay, financial market, it is very easy to get in and get out, and with GM, that is my experience. Basically, to attach the fund and to detach the funds, it can be done easily. So understand the risk that you're taking. So whether it's going to be 1% of your capital or 20% of your capital or even 90% of capital. So understand the risk first, right, before going for the high returns. So anybody can tell you things like, oh, I'm getting 30% a month, I'm getting 50% a month. So it sounds good, right? However, when you drive, you always want to make sure the brakes are working. So even though it's a Ferrari, even though it is the best car in the world, right? You can speed, definitely you can speed. But if you are unable to stop, then what's the point? you crash and burn. So it's the same with any investments. Make sure that your financial planner is educating you about the risk that the traders has been taking. Whether it's the last 12 months or 24 months, ask for the drawdown or any risk reports. So from there, then you can see whether your funds are going to be consistently growing. You want to keep your profits, not having to just look at your profits, but then it will just vanish, in a split second, because that's what's going to happen if the risk is high. So any risk that is, any drawdown that's above 20%, I consider it as extremely risky. Yeah. So go for the those that is 1 or 2% risk. So that's my personal opinion. Yeah.